Hello everyone, welcome to the online session of Social Science. Today we are going to study Civics and the name of the chapter is Growing Up as Boys and Girls. Boys and girls or men and women are two poles on which the whole setup of a society depends. It means the strength of the society depends upon the quality and strength of these two poles. If any pole gets damaged or becomes weak, then the whole structure shall be doomed to collapse. Here, it is clear that both men and women are equal, but what we see in our day-to-day life is just the opposite. They are not considered equal everywhere. Women have been and still are being discriminated against men in many ways. Right from the beginning of our civilization, women have been kept inside the walls of house. They have never been allowed to cross a limit set by the society. Social aspects. The purpose of all developments, whether social or economic, is the human development. The thrust of social development is in the overall development of the society. Society is a whole of which each individual is a part. But our society has always ignored the individuality of women. They have always been given very limited scope to improve themselves. In the family, their role was to give birth to children and looking after them thereafter. They were not allowed to take part in any social activity. They were never sent to schools. Only in some special cases they were given a chance to learn to read some religious text. They were never allowed to get higher education. They were always asked to be calm and accept every treatment they were meted in the family or society. Economic aspects. Women had always been dependent on men. They were not economically strong. Even for minor things or requirements, they had to depend on their male partner. As a consequence, they were bound to feel suppressed. This also suppressed their self-confidence. As they didn't earn money, they were not supposed to take even a minor decision themselves. Decision-making tasks was normally associated with men. Even today, the orthodox system of the family is set in the favor of men. Even in cities, an educated woman who is well employed does not use her rights for the fear of antagonizing her husband. She is not allowed to keep her salary or to spend as she likes. Physical violence is still very common. The society remains male-dominated and women continue to be exploited. Women do not get equal wages for equal work as males. The rural women have no idea about their legal rights as well. Gender inequality. Since ages, women have been discriminated on the basis of her gender in almost all the sectors. Sexual difference is biological, but gender difference is sociological. In India, there are various factors which perpetuate gender inequality and keep the status of women lower than men. The discrimination begins from very young age. Boys and girls are not given the same quality of food. Best food is served to boys as compared to girls. Boys are given cars to play while girls are given dolls. By giving different toys to boys and girls to play with, society makes the difference between the two genders. It is a way of conveying them the message that they will have different future when they become men and women. From the beginning of their childhood, girls are taught several etiquettes such as they should be soft-spoken, they should be mild in their behavior, they should be tolerant, etc. But the same values are not taught to the boys. They are taught that they need to be serious and strong because their role in life is associated with the outside world. Needless to say that these differences in the primary conditioning of a boy and a girl affect not only their mental setup but also affect their careers in later life. Child marriage. In the past, children were married at a very early age. Unfortunately, if the child's husband died, the child bride became a widow for the rest of her life. In some far off rural areas, we still find the system of child marriage. This factor also leads to the rapid growth of population because early marriage means more children. Widow remarriage. The woman as a widow was regarded as burden both on the family and society. She lived a life of despise and neglect and was not allowed to remarry. Some orthodox minds still think that a widow is a burden that begets nothing but woe and curse to the family. The dowry system. The dowry system has been prevalent in our society since time immemorial. The birth of a girl child is considered a liability in the family. At the time of a marriage, the parents have to face huge demands of dowry when they search for a well settled boy. If the parents are unable to fulfill the demands, the bride has to face mental and physical tortures. Work of men and women not valued equally. As it has been mentioned earlier in this chapter, both men and women are equally important for a better society or a family. It means that the work of both men and women is equally important. Hence, their work must be given equal value. But we don't find this situation in our society. The importance of the work of women has always been ignored or denied in our society. The work of men has recognition and therefore it is given due importance as well. But the women's work is generally overlooked or not valued in the same magnitude as the work of men. Recognition of women's housework. Women's work, especially associated to the household, chores, and caregiving tasks, is highly devalued. People generally think that whatever they do inside the house is not real work. This devaluation of women's work has always lowered their status in the society. Needless to say that women do a number of works at home in order to take good care of their families along with managing their careers outside. The moment they get up early in the morning, their work starts. They always find themselves under pressure due to many different types of works. Generally, they perform more strenuous tasks than their male partners like fetching water from a long distance, carrying heavy loads of firewoods on head, working in another's house as maid servants, washing clothes, and maintaining the cleanliness of the house, cooking different items of food by standing for long hours in front of the hot gas stove. All are difficult, tough, and demands physical strength. Still, they never show that they are exhausted or tired. Even though they are not well for a day or two, they can hardly take time off their duties and lie on bed. Instead, they do their regular work with same zeal. Double burden. As the times are changing, women's work has begun to get even more complicated. We feel proud that women have now joined the mainstream areas of the society by playing significant role in different fields. But this is only the one side of the coin. The other side of it is that such women have to bear double burden. Going outside to work and earn money doesn't mean that women have got freedom from their work inside their homes. In reality, working women have to discharge double responsibilities. They have to manage work at home as well as outside at their workplace. Such women definitely work much more than that of men. They hardly get any leisure time. This again brings to the force the inequality between men and women. Now, the last topic is women's work and equality. The devaluation of women's work is not seen inside the house only. In fact, it is a part of a larger system of inequality between men and women, which is very depressing. Women's work must be recognized by all. First of all, the family members should value the work of the women. They must be aware of the fact that if they enjoy peace and comfort in the house, it is only due to the various valuable work performed by the women at proper time. Thus, it is the duty of one and all to give due importance to their work. Inequality between men and women is still in existence in every part of our country. To rectify the situation and to make women self-dependent, the government has set up Anganwadis or child care centers in several villages in the country. In these centers, women are employed to look after the children. These efforts of the government also give opportunity to more and more girls to attend schools. Our government has always tried its best to give equal recognition to the work of women. Our constitution lays stress on the principle of equality and guarantees all the rights and freedom to women as enjoyed by their male counterparts. But the biggest obstacle in real empowerment is that there are still some areas where laws cannot interfere and make the necessary reforms. Their old traditions and values rule supreme. Hence, women are still exploited and abused in spite of constitutional guarantees. Though a number of laws in favor of women have been passed, but these are rendered ineffective as the society refuses to change its mindset. Still, the liberation of women requires a lot of efforts at every step. So, not just the women, but all of us must stand united to raise our voice against any type of discrimination. According to the new Inheritance Law 2005, daughter, son, and their mother have an equal share in land and other property. This provision gives equal status to women and ensures economic help to them. Thank you.